Hey, you. Are you ready? This game's massive. 2 episodes in. First v third. I need to get the dramatic music ready because we're going to need it in today's episode. Let's get started. Good morning, afternoon and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2 of AC Milan, Awake the Sleeping Giant. Oh, I'm so proud of that name, honestly. I'm such a creative person. There's not one single person in this world that has ever thought of that name. Honestly, how creative am I? So, in today's episode, we have a massive game against first in the league, and I've realised that I'm actually on the wrong scheduler for the wrong team. We're with Juventus. Zebre. Blimey. Let's change that. There we go. That's better. So as you can see from our results, the last episode being a magnificent 4-0 away victory against Verona. Since then, we've had a pretty good start to the year with three Serie A wins and obviously qualifying into the Euro Cup as well, which so far we are on par or exceeding what the board are expecting of us this season. So there's no chance of me getting sacked yet, which is always a bonus. So what we're going to do for the matches that we play since you were last here, we're not going to go through the Euro Cup games because you'd fully expect me to win them because we're going to be against pretty poor sides. So the first game after you left us in the last episode is a 2-1 home victory against Parma, and this was a pretty difficult game. I honestly thought Parma coming to our stadium, being at home, this game would be pretty easy, but boy was I wrong. And we actually needed a 93rd minute penalty from Zlatan Ibrahimovic to secure us the win, and we were incredibly lucky. I mean, to say Parma got FM'd would probably say a lot about the game, is that we equalise for a Theo Hernandez basically scored an own goal in the 21st minute of the match, and we actually equalised in the 90th minute through Rebic, who, by the way, has been absolutely unreal so far this year. He's actually keeping Lucas Moura out of the side, and then somehow we got a penalty in the 93rd minute through Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who got us the full 3 points. And looking at the stats and the expected goals as well, you'd probably say that we fully deserved to win, but we didn't half leave it till quite literally the last few minutes of the game. And I'm not going to lie, I would have been absolutely fuming if we'd lost this game. But thankfully, we got ourselves a victory. 2 wins out of 2. Let's crack on. So the next Serie A game in our fixtures was an away game against a Benevento. I don't know, which we actually lost 1-0 away from home. Once again, we were pretty, not dominant, but we were definitely the better side from start to finish. The stats and the expected goals pretty much show this, and we had chance after chance after chance after chance in this game, and we just couldn't score. It was a really, really disappointing result, and Benevento were very, very fortunate to actually get across the line without conceding, because as I said, we had so many chances that this definitely could have been at least a draw or a 2 or 3-1 result. But unfortunately, Zlatan wasn't at the races, Rebic wasn't at the races, and our entire team in general just didn't play well, which was very disappointing considering that we were 2 wins out of 2, and these are the sort of games that you'd fully expect us to get wins against. And if we want a challenge for the Serie A this season, which is definitely possible, we need to be beating teams like Benevento. Nothing against them, but obviously we're definitely the superior side. I mean, clearly not, because otherwise you wouldn't have lost against them, Alex, you complete idiot. But we definitely need to make sure that we don't get too complacent when we do win games, that we don't go into games that we're expected to win and let our performances drop. That's definitely one challenge that we're going to have this year. So the third game? Was it the third game? So the fourth game in Serie A was against Croton at home. And once again, as seems to be the case for pretty much every match we've played up to this point, a pretty dominant display overall from our side. Rebic, once again, absolutely unreal so far this year, getting himself a goal within the first minute, so a very, very good start. There's Latan getting himself a penalty in the 79th minute, and Hakan Kalhanoglu securing the victory in 95th minute to get us a lovely 3-1 win and really get us up that table to the point where we are in third position. As I said before, we are playing first in the league, so we could not be in that position come towards the end of this episode. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the start that we've made to our league campaign. Obviously, there's a long way to go. And I'd probably say the November-December period is the period where we're going to see where we truly are going to be come towards the end of the year. I'd fully expect us once again to be within the fight for the top four, or hopefully top of the table. So the next game, but this wasn't in the league, was in the Euro Cup group stages, which was against Sivasspor. I'm not too sure where they are in the world. So they're in the Turkish league. This is obviously a game that you'd expect us to get a win against, where we did beat them 4-2. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep a clean sheet, which was slightly concerning and a bit annoying as well. You'd expect us, especially at home, to be able to get a pretty easy victory. Thankfully, Hakan, Kajir, Gabia and Ibra getting themselves all on the score sheet. And Max Gradle, is that the Max Gradle from Bournemouth? It is. Oh, he's had a right journeyman career, hasn't he? I don't know if he actually starts in Turkey. Is he in Turkey in real life? I'm not too sure. Feel free to let me know in the comments. But he's had quite the career. Obviously, majority in England, but he's dipped his toes in France and now going far away into Turkey, apparently. So quite the career for Max there. Quite the career. No, but he got himself on the score sheet, and then I'm not sure who this is. Gahode getting a goal in the 90th minute, making it 3-2. So quite nervy, but as I said before, thankfully Hakan securing the victory straight after kick-off to give us a lovely 4-2 win and kicking off our European start to dominance with a win. So yeah, very, very happy with that. Okay, so I did say that we are going to be playing top of the league, and it might surprise you who that is against. Most people probably assumed it would be a Zebra, but it's actually against Lazio, who have had an absolutely unreal start to their Serie A campaign with 4 wins out of 4, getting themselves 12 points. I'm not too sure who they've actually played. They've actually not conceded a goal all year so far. Are you kidding me? They haven't conceded a goal at all in any competitive match against Benevento, Crotone, Casulo and Sampdoria. So you wouldn't really say that they played any really difficult sides. But, I mean, no goals conceded is very impressive. You must give it to them. 6 goals scored and beating Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Champions League as well. So they are in the Champions League. So this is definitely not going to be... Well, we always knew it was going to be a difficult game. But the fact they're in the Champions League, hopefully... might have took a little bit out of them, I'm not too sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Zebra in second, Inter in fourth, Fiorentina in fifth. Any surprising results so far? Roma in 14th, Napoli in 13th, Udinese in 12th. So apart from maybe Napoli and Roma, you'd probably say the league looks pretty familiar to what it might do in real life. But yeah, enough of the talking. We're all here for the big game that we have. Cue the dramatic music, Alex. Now, let's get into the game. Okay, we are at the team sheet, and it's a pretty familiar first 11 that you're probably going to see for most of the year. I did say that Rebic is having an absolutely unreal year so far, and he's actually scored 10 goals in 7, 2 of them only coming in the league, but he scored 8 in 4 in European competitions, which is absolutely mental. And then Ibrahimovic having an okay start to Serie A, 3 goals, 2 assists in 4. I'm actually surprised by them stats, to be fair. I didn't actually think he'd had as many goals as that. I think 2 of them have come from penalties, so only 1 from open play, which might be a little bit of a concern. And then Hakan on the left-hand side, 2 goals, 1 goal and 1 assist in the league. Actually, Rebic is keeping Lucas Moura out of the side, so we did buy, obviously, Lucas Moura for massive money, and he's probably a little bit gutted to be staying out of the side, which, actually, looking at the state of our squad, we are pretty tired. I might actually start Lucas Moura here in replace of Rebic. Our midfield's going to have to stay the same, just because our midfield is pretty strong, and our defensive line, obviously, Alessio Romagnoli is back in the side, alongside Kajer and Calabria and Hernandez, finishing off the fullback positions. And it's the same tactic that I've been playing so far. Hopefully, I have no need to change it this year. I would like to stick with this for until May and build our side over the coming years to this particular tactics. I definitely think that the 4-1-2-2-1 is one of the stronger tactics this year. Obviously 4-2-3-1 was particularly overpowered in FM20, so from what I've gathered from just my own experience, this tactic is probably the strongest so far. Obviously that could change with the beta and obviously the full game releasing, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it doesn't. I would like to actually win a title in my first beta save as a YouTube and streamer, so we'll have to wait and see. But we are going to go into the game today against Lazio, and I'm not too sure how tired their side is. I'm going to assume they're probably of the same sort of tiredness as us, and I've just remembered that they do have a really good side. I've completely forgot that they have the likes of Savic, Immobile, Luis Alberto, which is a little bit of a concern. They have a strong side, so there's not really any surprise that they are in the position that they are. So we're going to submit our team. Once again, our team is lacking in fitness a little bit, but I'm hoping that Lazio are in the same position as us. And that is the team sheet that they have. They have Lucas Leiva, Liverpool legend. As a Liverpool fan, I love to see it. Savic, Alberto, Carrera and Immobile. Obviously, Immobile, absolutely ridiculous in real life. It'll be interesting to see how he does on FM21. So in terms of tactical advice, they are actually telling me to go in pretty hard in tackles on Savic. Now I do agree with that, just because the ability of Savic, obviously someone that we'd love to get in and that most Football Manager players definitely got in last year's game, and hopefully we can get him in at the end of this year or next year, because he'd definitely be a massive upgrade on our midfield. So right, what are we saying in terms of team talks? I don't want to go aggressive on the boys. We don't want to put the pressure on them, because we are away from home. This is going to be a difficult game. I'm going to say I want you to pick up where you left off last time out, and the boys are loving it. You love to see it, and there's no pressure. No one gave an absolute stuff. So great end to the team talk there. And Rebic on the bench is aggressive, apparently, no doubt, absolutely fuming at being replaced by Lucas Moura. How would you describe your relationship with Simeone Inzaghi? We have a great relationship. Alessio has lack of match fitness. We don't care. We need our best players against Lazio. They're all lining up. The biggest of big games is upon us. Let's hope we get off to a good start. Here we go. Okay, I'm an idiot. I do apologise. Lazio have scored. I started to record too late. Unfortunately, this was through a set piece. I mean, a terrible start to the game. Luis Alberto with a good corner in, and Acerbi scored that. No, Luis Felipe scored, actually. A very scrappy goal to concede, and I'm concerned that Lazio are playing very well very early on in the game. And Lucas Leiva, Luis Alberto is a good save by Donnarumma. I feel like he could have held that, though, weirdly. It was a very weak shot from Luis Alberto, so you'd probably expect him to actually be able to handle that, but apparently not. Luis Alberto, another dangerous corner in. It is headed away by Carvalho there, and Lazio are definitely having the better of the game here. 50 minutes gone, 3 shots already. It's not looking good. Okay, 10 minutes from half time, and the only chances have come through the 2 that you saw through obviously the goal and the shot from Luis Alberto. I forgot his name there for a second, and oh my god, that expected goals graph is absolutely horrific. Jesus, I mean, it's literally a square. It's literally a square. That's how bad we've been. We are as bad as a square. I mean, it's more of a rectangle, but I mean, what a terrible half that's been. I mean, we are 1-0 behind, but I wouldn't necessarily say Lazio have been dominant, and we definitely going to need to make some changes here. And I think he's been the man of the moment the past few games. We're going to bring on Ante Rebic on for Lucas Moura, who has had an absolutely terrible game so far. And we are going to try and take the game a little bit to Lazio here. Maybe try and put the pressure on them. Where is it? We're already pressing quite urgently. And we're going to go attacking, I think. I mean, I don't know how effective attacking is in the new FM. I mean, in last year's, it was pretty useless. But hopefully we can get ourselves a few more chances. Because ultimately, as Michael Owen would say, if you don't have chances, you don't score. Okay, absolutely nothing is happening. 65 minutes gone. This could potentially be the most boring game we've ever had. We're going to have to bring on some attacking players here. And I'm not too sure who we can bring on. I feel like Valiant might have to come off. And we change to a 4-2-3-1 maybe. I feel like that might have to be the change that we make. Or do we bring on Brahim Diaz? How good is Brahim Diaz? He's pretty decent, obviously on loan from Real Madrid. He probably does deserve a little bit of game time. So I'll change him to an attacking midfielder in that, just behind Ibra. Hopefully give Ibra some chances. And we're going to change Benaker to deep line playmaker support. Try and once again get ourselves, just muster up a chance. We haven't had a single chance in the entire game as of yet. And Lazio do have another corner. It's going to be 2 set pieces, and it is for the guy that we were talking about at the start of the game. Well, it would have been the start of the game. Savic, 2 corners, 2 goals. I mean, I don't feel like that's a direct representation of how good or bad we've been, really. I mean, Lazio are top of the league, and we are away from home, so it's never going to be an easy game, but you'd probably say that we've been pretty poor here. I mean, I'm so disappointed in our side. I mean, Rafael Leo for Hakan. I mean, we need to make some subs, but I feel like it's a little bit too late here. I mean, 3-0, it's an absolute embarrassment of a match. Lazari, we're not putting any pressure on. The boys literally do not care here. Lazari, no one's putting pressure on him. Sergej, Andreas, great ball to Immobile, and he's dangerous, and it's offside. I mean, that... Wow. I mean, I'm gobsmacked. I mean, the players surrounding the referee. Is it offside? Maybe? It is offside. Right. That has saved our chickens there a little bit. I mean, we don't need to see it again. I don't want to be pained. Right. Let's demand more. No, we're going to berate because that is horrendous from our boys. I mean, a goal 5 minutes before time... And potentially, Cabria, he's going to hit it in it. Oof. I mean, it's the only chance we've had, and it's a poor chance at that. I don't know what I can change, really. Like, I feel like it's just been one of them games. Like, Lazio definitely look like they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. And based on them stats, you wouldn't say they've been absolutely dominant. I mean, their expected goals is quite high at 1.4, but... I mean, I don't know how to take that game, really. Like, I think we were obviously poor. We obviously played pretty badly, but I wouldn't say that, like, it's a direct representation of the tactic or anything like that. Just because, as I said, Lazio are top of the league. We're going to wag... No, we're not gesturing. And it'll be interesting where that puts us in the league now, to be fair. Well, I feel like we're going to drop quite significantly. So we've dropped to 5th, so not as bad as I'd thought. And Lazio is creating quite the distance from direct rivals, you'd say, Zebre and Inter. 4 points clear already. And it'll be surprising if Lazio win the title in the first year of this save. It'll be very surprising. I mean, they probably will drop off a little bit because I think they've played some pretty poor sides, including us, obviously. So when they start to play the big boys, so to speak, they probably will struggle a lot more. So who have we got in the next game? So we've actually got Sampdoria, Sabulio, and we play Zebre. Oh, right. I mean, I have to come back for that, right? I have to come back for it. I mean, we've only got a few games in between then, but it's Juve. We can't say anything about it. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Zebre is actually Juventus. So I feel like we are probably going to come back for that game. Obviously, we've only got 2 Serie A games between then. But once again, it's our in the first save of FM21, our first season, we have to be playing the big boys. And then after that, we'll probably have a bit of a break till probably the end of December, more than likely. So yeah, that is going to bring us to the end of the episode. Obviously, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I'm absolutely loving FM, absolutely loving the save, absolutely loving life at Fulham as well. And if you don't know where to catch me as I play Fulham, down here, my Twitch and Twitter links will be, and also in the description. So make sure you come and check me out if you want to see me live. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you in episode 3. Goodbye.